All right, welcome back to WMAC Now with your host, Chuck Stevenson, and welcome to episode number 96 of the WMAC Report, our regular show where we go over everything going on within the world of the women's divisions of mixed martial arts. Tonight, we got big preview. PFL MMA is back, the Pro Fighters League, their women's lightweight division, and it starts tomorrow, and we're going to be going over that. But first, we got to start where we always start, which is going to be with the results from this past week. As soon as I bring these up here. All right, first up, we're starting at one championship, one on TNT 4. At Bantamweight, Colby Northcutt defeated Courtney Martin via submission in the first round. Not a bad performance there for Colby Northcutt. Big size difference, of course. I mean, I think no matter who she fights in that at 135 pounds, she's going to be a lot taller than him. I mean, she's just very tall, very long-limbed, and just works for her so far. Then at Combate Global had their Combate Latinas card. First up, Elizabeth Schroeder defeated Bjelka Soto in a bantamweight bout via unanimous decision. Schroeder climbed to 1-1. Soto fell to 0-1. Unfortunately, I was unable to watch any of these live. I haven't been able to catch the replay yet either. So I'm just going to read off the results for these. Then at strawweight, Nicole Giraldo defeated Rena Norville via unanimous decision. Giraldo climbed to 1-0. Norville fell to 0-2. Then also at strawweight, Mariah Miller on the right there defeated Alitzel Mariscal via unanimous decision. Miller climbed to 1-1. Mariscal fell to 2-2. Mariscal started off as an atomweight, and then Combate asked her to move up. I don't think she should have ever moved up to strawweight. Then in the co-main event, Claudia Diaz. What's this fight? I think this one got canceled. In the co-main event at flyweight, yeah, that was Palacios versus Cunningham got canceled. Anyway, co-main event, flyweight. Claudia Diaz defeated Dolce Garcia via TKO, 3 minutes, 27 seconds of the second round. Diaz climbed to 1-2. Garcia fell to 2-1. Combate took a bit of a hit with sexy star Dolce Garcia taking a loss there. It was a nasty finish, too. I mean, she was just beating the crap. Diaz was just beating the crap out of Garcia. So nice performance there for the One Warrior Series veteran. And then in the main event at strawweight, Cressida Adames on the left there defeated Karen Cedillo via unanimous decision. Adames climbed to 4-0. Cedillo fell to 4-2. Then on Saturday, over in the Czech Republic, Octagon 23 went down with two ladies bouts. First up at bantamweight. Teresa Bleda defeated Carolina Martins via unanimous decision. Bleda climbed to 3-0. Martins fell to 7-4. Nice win there for Bleda. Definitely her most experienced opponent to date. She's looking like a very promising young prospect. And then down at strawweight, but up on the main card, Evelina Wozniak defeated Elizabeth Rodriguez via submission due to triangle choke in the first round. Wozniak climbed to 5-0. Rodriguez fell to 4-3. Nice first round submission there for Evelina Wozniak. And then the big one on Saturday, UFC Fight Night, Reyes versus Prohaska. Had three ladies bout. First up, Loma Lookboonmee defeated Sam Hughes in a strawweight bout via unanimous decision. Lookboonmee climbed to 6-2. Hughes fell to 5-3. Very nice performance there for Loma Lookboonmee. I mean, she just was stronger than Hughes in the clinch, picked her apart on the outside, and I believe she was perfect on all of her takedowns. I think Hughes might have gotten one, if any, of her takedown attempts. Just very nice performance for Loma Lookboonmee. She's undersized for the division, but very strong and obviously very skilled. Hughes, I think, just got pulled up too soon from LFA. I mean, she came up on short notice, took a fight with Tanya Torres on like less than a week's notice. I've seen people say she got embarrassed. I don't consider that fight to be embarrassing. You take a top 10 opponent on short notice. That's a no-lose situation. So nice performance there for Wmma Wmma on the right. Got a question there from Judy V. When you name the fighters, are they to left or right to left or the opposite? Every one of them is different, honestly. It just depends. I'll start saying which one they are, though. I normally if I make the thumbnails, which most of these have been made by me, I do it by whichever order they are on Tapology. Next up at flyweight, Luanna Carolina on the right here defeated Poliana Botelho via split decision. Carolina climbed to 7-2. Botelho fell to 8-4. I probably would have given this to Botelho. I thought she definitely landed the harder shots. I think her biggest problem was she was trying so hard to go for the finish that she, kind of tired herself out in the later rounds. So either way, not a very good performance from either of these two. I didn't think so. Luanna Carolina came in, relatively short notice. But, wasn't my favorite fight Saturday night. And then finally, Luanna Pinero on the right there defeated Randa Marcos. Well, she didn't defeat her. She received a DQ win, disqualification win, due to Marcos landing an illegal up kick. 4 minutes, 16 seconds of the first round. Pinero climbed to 9-1. Marcos fell to 10-11. This fight was fun while it lasted. I mean, Marcos was really taking it to Pinero, like really throwing leather with her. Pinero was getting some nice takedowns, some judo tosses in there, dumping Marcos on her head. It was a really good fight while it lasted. Unfortunately, Marcos got that, illegal up kick while Pinero was down on both knees. Now, some people have said that she's faking it. I'm not an expert. I mean, I could kind of see why they're saying it, but I can also see the opposite way as well. I mean, I'm not an expert on concussions or knockouts. I think if she was that badly hurt, though, I don't understand why they had her coach carry her out instead of putting her on a stretcher. Because if she was that bad hurt, probably should have put her on a stretcher to take her out. Judy B says that kick was wow. Yeah, it was. And I am a proponent of legalizing up kicks like that. If you're on your back and your opponent's on your knees, I think you should be able to kick them in the head. I don't see any reason that should be illegal in this day and age. I'm just not a fan of having that illegal. I think that's another instance of like certain ground strikes on the ground that should be allowed, like knees to a grounded head of a grounded opponent. I'm in favor of those. 12-6 elbows, yeah, we can do those too. That's more of a cosmetic thing than anything else, is why they're banned. So that is it for this past weekend's fights. So let's get on into the news here. Let me bring these up. A lot of news stuff to go over. One of them got released like 5 minutes ago too. But we'll start at the top. First off, Peak Fighting 12 goes down May 22nd in Texarkana, Arkansas. They added a bout between Brooke Mayo and Brandy Mulder. You might remember Brooke Mayo from like going on, I think, like 5 years ago now. She had her debut and second fight in Bellator. Went 0-2, but, and then had a big falling out with her manager where she couldn't fight for a long time. And then Deep Jules 33, unfortunately, and I talked about this before, has been pushed back from May 5th to June 20th due to the state of emergency in Tokyo. Fortunately, it got pushed back over a month. And then EFC in Africa comes back. EFC 85 goes down this weekend, May 8th in South Africa. They added a flyweight bout. Christina Wolmerins coming in at 1-0, taking on I guess this is Kylie Niedermeyer making her pro debut. Nice to see EFC is back. And then this is some good news as well. The Russian Ministry of Sport has officially recognized MMA as a sport. That's big. There is a Russian MMA sub-department of the Ministry of Sport, but until now they haven't really recognized the women's divisions officially, but now they have, which hopefully means, more funding for various areas of it. How you doing there, Perez? Then Russia's Open FC has announced a 4-woman strawweight Grand Prix for June 12th to crown its first female champion. Now, I don't know if this is all going to go down in one night or if it's going to be spread over multiple events, but the first round, at least, is on June 12th. The participants are going to be Ksenia Lachkova, who is 10-6, Victoria Dudakova coming in at 3-0, Anna Rudenko coming in at 6-2, and Marina Shutova coming in at 3-1. Not a bad lineup there. Obviously very local Russian lineup. And then a strawweight bout between Michelle Watterson and Marina Rodriguez is going to be main event this Saturday. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Per her Instagram, flyweight Ayaka Mayura has renewed her contract with One Championship. Good on her, I guess. And then Bellator 260 goes down June 11th. They added a featherweight bout. Amanda Bell and Marina Magnakina. Magnakina, she's in for a rough one. She's one of those fighters. She signed with Bellator, moved up from bantamweight to featherweight. She's taking on a real featherweight in Amanda Bell, and a heavy hitter too. She could be in for a rude awakening there. And then Brave Combat Federation 51 goes down June 4th. Their first ladies bout in quite a while. A strawweight bout between Anastasia Fiofanova coming in at 7-1 and Sevde Turk coming in at 4-0. Nice to see Brave putting on ladies bouts again. They're based out of Bahrain, and I think as long as they're in Bahrain, is why they weren't holding the ladies bouts, which is weird. But they're Middle Eastern. I'm not going to get into that politics. Anyway, Open FC 4 goes down May 22nd in Russia. They added a bantamweight bout. Mayana Souza coming in 8-1, taking on Zaira Dishikova coming in at 9-3. Should be a good one. Then One Dangle goes down May 15th in Singapore. 2 ladies bouts. First up at 115, Ritu Phogat coming in 4-0, taking on B. Nguyen coming in at 5-6. That's an interesting one because we have to wait for the results of that bout to come out to see if Ritu Phogat still stays in the One World Atomweight Grand Prix. And then at a 128-pound catchweight bout, Ayaka Miura, 10-3, takes on Hyan Bastos, coming in at 4-0-1. Then CFFC 97 goes down May 27th, and it's going to air live on UFC Fight Pass. They added a strawweight title bout. Champion Elise Reed coming in 3-0, defending her title for the first time against Hillary Rose, who is, I believe, 5-2. And then UFC 264 goes down July 10th in Las Vegas. Added a bantamweight bout. Irene Aldana coming in 12-6, taking on Yana Kunitskaya coming in at 14-5. And then some more Deep Jewel news. Aya Murakami has been hospitalized due to illness, and as a result, she is now out of her Deep Jewels Atomweight Grand Prix semifinal bout against Hikaru Ono. So moving up from the reserve bout to replace her is going to be Mizuki Nisei Oshiro. So Murakami was supposed to face Hikaru Ono, but she's out. So Ono is still in. Mizuki Oshiro was supposed to face Emi Tomomatsu for the reserve bout, and now she has been slotted in to replace Murakami, and now she is back into the semifinals of the tournament bracket. No news yet, though, on what happened to Emi Tomomatsu. Like, is she going to stay a reservist, or are they finding her another opponent? It's up in the air right now. And then, speaking of Deep Jewels 33, which goes down June 20th in Tokyo, they added a lightweight bout, 155 pounds, rare women's lightweight bout between Sayaka Juicy Hishinuma making her pro debut and Ho Chan-zi making her pro debut. Obviously, that's not a real name as far as I can tell, but should make for an interesting one. These two both faced each other just a couple months ago in a amateur bout for Deep Jewels, with Juicy taking the win over Po Chan-zi. And then Valor FC 83 goes down June 4th in Knoxville, Tennessee. They've added 4 ladies bouts for Valor FC 83. First up, a 130-pound catchweight bout between Hannah Rosario coming in 0-2, taking on Taylor Turner coming in 4-7. Then another catchweight bout, I'm guessing around 110, 112, knowing these two fighters. Tabitha Watkins coming in at 3-3, taking on Emily King coming in at 5-4. And then at featherweight, Carolyn Biskup-Rowe comes in 2-7, taking on Christina Adcock coming in at 3-5. And then the last bout's going to be a bantamweight bout. Danielle Wynn coming in 0-2, taking on Morgan Hickam coming in at 2-2. Okay, Valor FC, they're very much a regional promotion. Last time they booked this many ladies bouts, I think only one of them ended up going down. So, or ended up happening, I should say. So don't be surprised if some of these bouts fizzle out. I know like Emily King, for example, her last 2 bouts scheduled for Valor ended up canceling. So we'll have to see. Also, you know, the records, again, this is very much regional level MMA. It's a regional show in Knoxville. And then Venator FC7 goes down June 19th in Rome, Italy. Venator is back after a long hiatus. A strawweight main event bout is scheduled between Nicole DeSeni coming in 8-3 and Adriana Fusini coming in at 3-1-1. Hey, ladies main event in Italy. Gotta love it. Then LFA 107 goes down May 14th, added a pair of ladies bouts. First up at strawweight, a pair of debutantes, Alandria Brown taking on Shania Arredondo. And then a pair of flyweights making their debuts. Taylor Malden taking on Amber De La Haran. And then LFA 108 goes down the next week, May 21st. They have a strawweight bout between Tiani Valley coming in at 3-2. She's taking on Catherine Paparaki coming in at 2-1. And then final news item of the night. Coming out of the UFC, they have an event scheduled for July 17th. They added a strawweight bout, Amanda Lemos and Montserrat Ruiz. Man, Ruiz getting like a ranked opponent on her first bout. Or excuse me, second bout in the UFC. So hardly fair. So that is it for the news. Now, as far as rankings updates, no changes for this week over last week that I could find. So let's get down into the final segment of the night. We're going to keep this one as short as possible. Going to keep the show as short as possible. The weekend preview. So first up, PFL 2021 number, I believe this is number 3, goes down tomorrow night, Thursday. Has 5 ladies bouts, all of them in the lightweight division. That is where PFL's having their ladies bouts. So first up, as you see on the screen here, we have, let me enlarge it just a little bit. Helena Kolesnik coming in 5-2, taking on Taylor Guardado coming in 0-1. You might remember Guardado. She was the finalist of the Invicta Phoenix Series 3, the Bantamweight one. So she's moving up 2 weight classes for this one. Kolesnik's a Invicta veteran as well. Last bout she fought for them, she was supposed to be featherweight, and then she was off by a good bit of weight as well. So Cannon Kolesnik coming in 5-2. No Mercy Guardado coming in 0-1, of course. Kolesnik last fought 2 years, 8 months ago against Felicia Spencer, losing via rear naked choke. Guardado losing a decision to Tanisha Tennant. Kolesnik's elder, 31-29. Looks like Kolesnik will be taller, 5'8", 173 centimeters to 5'6", 168 centimeters. No reach available for Kolesnik. Guardado is 68-inch, 173 centimeters. Honestly, Guardado has a lot less experience than Kolesnik, but I see this one going either way. It really depends how much Helena Kolesnik has worked on her takedown defense. Guardado is very much a pure wrestler, basically, is what I thought of coming out of the Phoenix series, whereas Kolesnik is more of a striker, not very good on the ground at all. So it really comes down to the ground game. Guardado is the slight favorite here, minus 135, even though she's moving up 2 whole weight divisions. They're brave. I'm going with Helena Kolesnik, but we'll just have to see. The next up on that card is going to be Jenna Fabian and versus Laura Sanchez. Fabioso coming in at 2-1. Sanchez on the right-hand side there coming in at 1-0. Undefeated, of course, obviously. Fabian last fought a year and 9 months ago, defeating Moriel Charneski via TKO. Sanchez last fought a year and 3 months ago, winning via TKO with knees and punches. Fabian 1 year the elder, 31-30. They are both very tall ladies. 6 foot even, 183 centimeters for both. Those are some tall ladies. I don't know anything about Sanchez, so I'm going to go with my tried and true tested method of going with the more familiar fighter. So I'm going with Jenna Fabian on the left-hand side there to win this one, the Australian. Then we have Cindy Dandois taking on Caitlin Young. Now, these two have been fighting for quite a while. It's amazing they haven't fought before. But finally, they're fighting each other at PFL and at lightweight. Usually they are featherweights and sometimes bantamweights. But Battle Cat Dandois coming in 16-5. Young, the striking Viking, coming in at 11-10-1. Dandois last fought a year and 4 months ago, winning via arm lock submission. Caitlin Young last fought 8 months ago for Invicta, defeating Latoya Walker. Dandois 1 year older, 36-35. Young is the taller fighter, 5'9", 176 centimeters to 5'7", 171 centimeters for Dandois. However, Dandois has a slightly longer reach than Young. 70-inch, 178 centimeters for Dandois, 68-inch, 173 for Caitlin Young. This is another battle of striker versus grappler. I mean, everybody knows Cindy Dandois' striking is just horrendous. Caitlin Young, her ground game is better than Dandois' striking game, but still, she's not going to want to hang out on the ground with Dandois. The big question is, can Dandois get Caitlin Young to the ground? Now, we've seen Caitlin Young against judoka before. You know, she went up against Reina Miura and defeated her and was able to hold off Reina Miura's judo. Of course, Cindy Dandois also has a win over Miura. This is a tough one. I'm going to go with the striking Viking to win this one, but I am not. I repeat, I am not confident in that pick. Very confident. But we're going with Caitlin Young. Keeping it moving. Up on the main card, Larissa Pacheco taking on Yulia, is it, I guess it's Payek? Pacheco coming in 13-4. The Montenegrin Payek coming in 3-0. Now, Pacheco's last coming off a loss to Kayla Harrison in the finals of the PFL a year and 4 months ago. Payek last fought a year and 3 months ago, winning via TKO. Let's see. Pacheco's the elder fighter, 26-23. Payek has a nice height advantage. 6 foot even, 182 centimeters to 5'7", 170 centimeters for Pacheco. No reach for Payek. 69-inch, 175 centimeter reach for Pacheco. I'm taking Larissa Pacheco to win this one. Yulia Payek is big. She's very big. I saw the weigh-in pictures earlier. She is much taller than Pacheco. Looks much thicker, but I got to go with Pacheco. She's not really a lightweight. She's more of a featherweight, started out as a bantamweight in her career, really blossomed into more of a featherweight. Now she's fighting at lightweight, but she might be the smaller one, but she's more experienced and definitely a better fighter than the little bit I've seen of Julia Payek. So I'm going to go with Larissa Pacheco to win this bout. The left-hand girl, the Brazilian. Then finally, in the co-main event, 2019's PFL champion Kayla Harrison taking on Mariana the Razor Moraes. Harrison on the left there coming in 8-0. Moraes coming in at 16-10. Big experience advantage for Moraes. Harrison's the elder fighter, 30 years to 26 for Moraes. Harrison's going to have a nice height advantage. 5 feet, 8 inch, 173 centimeters to Moraes, 5 feet, 4 inch, 163 centimeters. However, the reach is reversed, but only slightly. 66 inch, 168 centimeters for Moraes, for Harrison's 65.5 inch, 166 centimeters. So looking at the details for most of Moraes' bouts, she's fought the majority of her career between flyweight and bantamweight. So she is coming into this very undersized against the best fighter this division has. This does not look like it's going to end well for Mariana Moraes. Now, I don't know. Maybe she'll get a knockout. Maybe she'll ground and pound Kayla Harrison out. But, I mean, you're talking about someone moving up 2 weight classes for this bout. How am I supposed to have any confidence in Mariana Moraes to win this? I'm going, judo Kayla Harrison all the way on this one. So that's it for PFL. Now, Friday night has an atomweight bout at FAC number 8 Fighting Alliance Championship going down in Kansas City, Missouri. Just want to go over it here real quick. Elle Wagman coming in at 1-0, taking on Chelsea LaGrasse coming in at 2-3. LaGrasse on the right there. Wagman coming off a win 6 months ago. LaGrasse coming off a win just under 3 months ago. LaGrasse, the elder fighter, 30-26 for Wagman. Don't have a height or reach available for Wagman. Looks like LaGrasse stands all of 5 feet, 152 centimeters tall. Not making a pick on this one. It's just that it's the first atomweight bout I've seen listed outside of, besides Invicta, the first atomweight bout I've seen listed outside of Japan in a while. So I thought I'd include it here. Then Lux 13 goes down Friday night, and it's going to air live on UFC Fight Pass. A strawweight bout. Tanya Torres coming in at 3-0, taking on Yaneth Vidal coming in 1-1. This is one of the, I believe, semifinal bouts for the Lux strawweight tournament, and the winner of this tournament will decide the winner of, the inaugural Lux strawweight champion. So Torres coming in 3-0, and she actually has a previous win over Vidal, but her last win was via decision 7 months ago in the quarterfinals. And then Vidal is coming off a split decision win in the quarterfinals as well 7 months ago. Same event, I believe. And honestly, those are all the stats I have available for these two. But being that Torres on the left there already beat Vidal once, I'm going to take her to beat Vidal once again. And then she's going to move on to face, I cannot remember the other girl's name. I'll think of it later on. Anyway, she's going to end up moving on to face the other finalist for the Lux Fight League strawweight tournament. Like I said, this goes down on UFC Fight Pass. And then finally this weekend, UFC Fight Night, Rodriguez versus Watterson. two ladies bouts. Both, well, one of them is in strawweight, and that's going to be Amanda Hebos taking on Angela Hill. Hebos coming in at 10-2, coming off a loss to Marina Rodriguez 3 months ago. Overkill Hill coming off a win over Ashley Yoder a little over a month ago. Let's see. Hill, the older fighter, 36-27 for Hebos. Same height, 5'3", 160 centimeters. Looks like Hebos has a slightly longer reach, 66-inch, 168 centimeters to Hill, 64-inch, or excuse me, 64.5-inch, 164 centimeters. This is an interesting one because whoever wins this bout will get their first win over a ranked opponent. Up until now, Hebos has not actually defeated a ranked opponent. Yes, I realize that she beat Mackenzie Dern. However, pretty sure Mackenzie Dern was unranked at the time. Hill, on the other hand, seems like she's fought in just about everybody in this division, but she has yet to win against a ranked opponent. So both of these fighters have a chance to finally get a ranked win under their belt. And if I were Hebos, I'd look to come out, strike to get inside the range, and get this fight to the ground. I think she'll have a distinct advantage on the ground over Angela Hill. Now, Hill is no slouch on the ground, but Hebos is pretty good there. If it stays on the feet, I can easily see Angela Hill outworking Amanda Hebos. And the big question on a lot of people's mind is, you know, both of Hebos' losses are to knockout, and that includes her last fight against Marina Rodriguez. So a lot of people are wondering, is Amanda Hebos chinny? Well, we all know Angela Hill isn't exactly a power striker here. You know, she's a volume striker. She's like if she were a boxer, she'd be like the pure boxer style. She's not in there looking for the knockout. She's probably never going to get it. But she can definitely outwork Amanda Hebos on the feet if she wants to. So really it comes down to who wants it more and who's coming in there with the better game plan. My money's going to be on Amanda Hebos to get this one. And then finally, last fight I'm going to talk about this evening, up at flyweight, because this is a very late notice fight. But at flyweight, Marina Rodriguez taking on Michelle, the karate hottie, Watterson. Rodriguez coming in at 13-1-2. Last came off a win over Amanda Hebos after, you know, a relatively mid UFC career thus far. The karate hottie, though, halted a 2-fight skid in her last bout after beating Angela Hill via split decision. That was 7 months ago. Let's see. Watterson, the elder fighter, 35-34. It's easy to forget Rodriguez is that old of a fighter because, you know, she hasn't been doing it for that long. So, yeah, it's easy to forget that Rodriguez is getting up there in age as well. For a fighter, of course. Let's see. Rodriguez will be the taller fighter easily. 5'6", 168 centimeters to 5'3", 161 for Watterson. And then Rodriguez will have the reach as well. 65-inch, 165 centimeters to Watterson's 62-inch, 157 centimeters. This is going to be a tough one for Michelle Watterson. She's in there against a bigger, taller, rangier striker, one who hits hard as well. We saw how it looked when she went up against Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Now, is Rodriguez as good as Joanna? No, but she's definitely a faster starter, I would say, than Joanna is. And she definitely hits harder than Joanna. And we saw how Watterson dealt with that style before by losing to Joanna, excuse me. So this is going to be an uphill battle for Michelle Watterson. She has to find a way to get this fight to the ground. If Watterson can't get this fight to the ground, she's going to be getting the crap beat out of her by Marina Rodriguez. I do not envy Michelle Watterson in this fight at all. That's why my pick's going to be Marina Rodriguez. Now, what this fight is going to do for either of their careers, it's hard to say because they're not flyweights. They're strawweights. So hopefully this doesn't affect their rankings at all because I don't think Michelle Watterson should move up against Rodriguez in the strawweight rankings just because she beat her at flyweight, because, you know, it's at a different weight class. And I definitely don't think Rodriguez should move down no matter what, because, again, taking the fight on short notice and, you know, the change in weight class. But, excuse me, drinking too much water. The pick for this one is going to be Marina Rodriguez. So that is it for the weekend preview. Like I said, I was going to try to keep this show short. Took about a week and a half off. Finally got back into the groove today. I put out 2 fight previews for Wmma Empower. Itsuki Hirata versus Elise Anderson. I did the preview for that. It's getting a lot of views already. And then Aldona Rasuhina versus Stamp Fairtex, the rematch preview. So both of those fights are in the quarterfinals of the One Atomweight World Grand Prix, and they go down at Wmma Empower on May 28th. Please go check those out. I'm going to try to put out the other 2 within the next week. I'm going to do a video talking about Aldona versus Kunitskaya probably after I finish streaming this one. So keep an eye out for that. Before I go, if anybody wants to say anything in the chat, got 4 people in there right now. It's about pretty normal for this show. Let me check the likes here real quick. So we're currently at 3 likes. There's 4 people in the chat. Hey, y'all should be hitting that like button. Please hit it. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm and, you know, bumps it up in people's notifications. So nothing else in the chat. Judy V says night night or good morning to all. Other than that, that's really all I have. So if you're watching this on the playback, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Again, if you like the video, please give it a like. Share it as well. That's how the channel grows. And while you're at it, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to WMMAC Now, the most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.